Hey everyone, a very good morning and welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Fabio and in today's video, as always, dollar index, major dollar pairs and gold are going to be discussed. So stay tuned and let's dive straight in. Okay guys, so starting off with the dollar index. Dollar index is currently just consolidating. As we can see, pretty boring week within the market. Yeah, as you can see over here, just consolidating, moving sideways, not much to be said. Pretty much the same analysis as yesterday still stands. What I do like is that we've been building up liquidity above this high and this low. So what it kind of seems to be happening over here now is kind of this wedge which is forming from where we're going to see a breakout at a certain point in the near future. Take into consideration, we could see a fake out on either one of the lows before moving in the other direction. That is something that you often see when liquidity is being built up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the dollar index. For the rest, not much to be said about this index. Not anything really interesting. So Aussie dollar also still consolidating due to the dollar index consolidating. Still just going to be waiting for potential further upside. However, as you guys all know, the longer you stay in an area of demand, the weaker that area of demand gets. So I would not be surprised if at a certain point in the near future we do pretty much just break through this area of demand. However, if we're able to pretty much just break above this descending trend line, I will be looking to trade that breakout up further in towards the highs, due to us eventually potentially moving in towards these higher levels. So for instance, this area of supply, so supply zone number 1 or supply zone number 2. So that is Aussie dollar. Then we have euro dollar, and excuse me, euro dollar hasn't really been moving that interesting, I would say. As you can clearly see, we reacted beautifully to this area of demand this morning, in line with the overall trend. So if we look at the overall trend on, let's say, the 4-hour, we do have to remember that the overall trend on the 4-hour is bullish due to the break of structure over here. So remember, we had a bearish break of structure over here. This becomes your high got broken over here. This becomes your strong low. This becomes your weak high, and we do expect further upside. So now pulling back in towards this area of demand over here and reacting to it beautifully. So at the moment, what do we want to see? Well, we want to see some continuation further up in towards the highs. Yeah, there's not really that much for the more to be said, I would say, except for there potentially being further upside. 4 hours bullish, daily is bullish, 1 hour is bullish. So we do want to see further upside. And another rule that you have to keep in mind is that the first change in structure on, let's say, the daily or the 4-hour on your dollar is often a very impulsive one. So it could be that there's not going to be a very deep pullback to at least, for instance, that 50% mark. So just keep that in mind when looking at your dollar. Of course, it is preferable that we do see a further drop lower, but it's not necessary, as sometimes it just does not happen on your dollar on that first trend switch. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Still favorable though for me personally to see one more dump down before moving up higher. If we do, I will be buying massively on euro dollar. We have some very big news today, by the way, on euro dollar. I'll see if I can send some updates inside the Discord server, link in the description down below. But yeah, that's pretty much it for your dollar. Then pound dollar. So pound dollar has just been consolidating, as we can see pretty clearly. And pretty much what I said yesterday, I think, happened, right? Don't forget, I did mention, and you can watch it back, we have this liquidation low. We had a clean move, so it was very likely that pound dollar was still going to come back down one more time. So everybody who took an entry on, let's say, this area of demand over here due to, let's say, the bullish structure, right? So overall, if we, for instance, were to draw in a fib, you would say, okay, well, we're bullish. That is probably the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So yeah, as you can see, that first initial entry over here, let's say you had an order over there on that order block, right? And you want to target a new potential higher high, where you set your stop loss, let's say 618 fib on the next fib level. But then you see, okay, initial move up, but then one more move down. But that move down was clearly anticipated on by me in yesterday's video. So now it is much more likely that we are going to see a push up on pound dollar. So I would keep my eyes out for that push up on pound dollar, as we have now seen liquidation. So yeah, just keep an eye on, let's say, the 15-minute now, and say, okay, well, we need to see a break of structure of, let's say, this high, or even higher probability would be a break of structure of this high, then wait for the pullback and then look for a further long. But yeah, if you're more aggressive, you could already take a potential entry over here. Kiwi dollar, still, yeah, nothing really interesting at all. Not really a pair that I'm looking at in recent times. Then gold has been consolidating pretty much. As we can see, we did see 1 hour close above this high. Let me see, 4 hour failed to close above that high. We did see further push up, like I pretty much explained yesterday morning. I would want to see further upside on gold, but 15-minute chart is also not really looking that clear, or I'm not really seeing any obvious opportunities, I would say myself. So let's just wait and see what gold does. Pretty much nothing really to get into at the moment on this pair. Then we have Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD has been moving further down, pretty much like explained. Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen still has potential to drop down lower. Just keep a good eye on it, because if we look at this 1 hour, we can clearly see that this 1 hour low got broken, taken out. So now we're seeing a pullback, and we could potentially see further downside on this pair. Aussie New Zealand, nothing really. Kiwi CAD, kind of slow still inside of this, area of demand. Yeah, we could potentially see some further upward movement on this pair, but at first pretty much just want to see, let's say, this high get taken out more clearly. But yeah, dollar Swiss, by the way, pulling up higher, still waiting for it to reach supply, of course. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for tuning in today's video, guys. Wish you all the best for the trading day ahead. I'm going to open the door and see you very, very soon. Thanks, guys.